Good morning everyone. A quick update on the progress for the Monitor 16S and what I've been doing in the past couple of days, weeks with the system. You've seen it before. It's basically a 16S BMS with the balancing resistors and everything on it. And when I was working with the developer to do some improvements, enhancements, there was a requirement for me to flash the device, and I took out my SparkFun breakout board FTDI, connected it to the pin header over here, and once the flash was completed, I was walking to my battery shed and was like, okay, let's leave it on just in case we need to flash it once more. Makes it a little bit easier to connect the laptop and then put the flash on. That didn't work out well. The breakout board was called SparkFun, and believe me, when it touched the 48-volt rail, it was a lot of sparks and not so much fun. It basically burned my MCU that was on the board. It's a little bit of a or small 8266 SPRIF room. So I basically desoldered it, put a new one on after doing some measurements with the producer of this board, and we actually got it to work again. That also put me in the position to, I don't want to make shorts and a bare print like this without a casing in my battery room was not something that I was willing to do. So what I started out was a little bit of a project. Started with freecad. Never done that before, by the way. So that was very interesting, and started doing some prototyping to see if it fits, and it progresses along the way from just a small blank to a finished bottom piece, which when merged together, you see the little grates here. They are for the resistor side. Fits really nice. And that was the bottom plate done. That was the easy part. Then eventually, when I progressed, I started designing the top part that needed to go over, but it had to have all the protrusions for the various connectors. And I printed a few to see if my measurements were right. I added also these fan holes because I wanted to make sure that when it's balancing, it gets enough cooling. And I went through a few blanks to see where is the placement and what is a good fit for the solution. And of course, along the way, I had a few of these, well, completely mangled prints. And the almost finished one I've done a couple of days ago was looking good, but there were a few measurements off that needed to be adjusted. So I went back to the drawing board, and when I took the 40mm fans, I also found that the measurements that I got from a technical drawing on the internet was actually not right. So the holes did not line up with the holes that I made in the freecad software. So that didn't work out. And today, or yesterday night, I finally finished the product. I did use 3 different colors of PLA. I ran out of white at some point. Then I took the green and didn't spend enough time to look at how much was on the spool. That ran out, and eventually I finished it with black. But that doesn't matter. The construction is still fine. So now the top and the bottom is marrying up really nice, protecting the board. And the only thing that I need to do is make the holes a little bit bigger, a little bit wider, put a screw in, tie everything together, then mount the fans in the top case. I want to do that with nylon nuts and bolts and no metal parts. So if for whatever reason, I want to say friction, but that's not right. Moving the vibrations of the fan, and one of those bolts comes loose and it drops onto the print. Nylon doesn't make a short. So that's a quick update. I will publish these schematics for those that already have a Monitor 16S on my website, which is the Mooney Logger, together with the C# application and also the Python application that is developed. But there will be a little bit of a separate video talking about that. And what the Mooney Logger basically does, it reads the JSON information and transforms it into a web page where you have all your charts and stats and overview in one page. Now the Mooney Logger comes with a web front end, so you can see the amount of current, you see the temperatures, the battery voltages, etc. So that's not an issue. But what it doesn't do is store that information for a long period of time. So that's where the Mooney Logger comes into the picture, which you can run on a Raspberry Pi or on a Windows machine, and then use Grafana charting software to make a very nice dashboard. And that I will discuss in a future video. So I will capture the progress on the case when all the bolts are in, the fans are in, and it's placed in the battery shed. Then I will do a follow-up. Okay, so stay tuned, and yeah, take a look at www.mooneylogger.com for more information about the Monitor 16S. All right, bye-bye.